All right, gang, welcome to DiveVibe. I'm Zach, and today we're gonna talk about some BCD hacks. All right, so there's a lot of different types of BCDs out there. You've got jacket style, you've got back inflate, you've got back plate and wing, you've got side mount BCDs, you've got rebreather specific BCDs, all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna talk about a few of those today. Right here, I have a back plate and wing. This is my BCD. This is what I use for work. I like this because when something breaks on it, I can replace it. It's easy. But this isn't a video about BCDs. This isn't a video about BCDs. Today we're gonna talk about some BCD. But some of these hacks will revolve around back plate and wing because that's what I use. But I'm also gonna show you how you can use them on a regular BCD as well. It is possible. All right, number one, Snoopy loops. These guys right here. I got this bag off of Amazon. They're these little rubber bands, and essentially all they are is a cut up inner tube. So these are extremely cheap. I got this bag, I don't know, like something like $8 or something like that for a bag of 30. There's a lot of them, lasts a long time. But if you have a bicycle inner tube laying around, or honestly, if you go into a local bike shop and ask, they're probably gonna give you an old one for free. And you just cut it up into little slices and you have tons of these. And you can use them for retaining your dive lights in this fashion. So let's say this is your shoulder strap and you've got this Snoopy loop or Ranger band or whatever you wanna call it to retain your light and keep it nice and clean against your body so that you're not dragging it on coral or anything like that. Nobody wants to be the Christmas tree diver, or some people do want to be the Christmas tree diver. That might be the problem. But you can do the same thing. There's no reason why you can't do the same thing with a regular old BCD. So I've got this back inflate BCD right here, and you can do the exact same thing. You can put a piece of bungee right here. These shoulder clips do tend to get in the way, but you can figure out a spot where it's gonna work for you. I figured on this BCD right here, it kind of didn't get in the way. I would still retain the light. This does, however, work best on back plate and wing. Side mount BCDs, depending on the way you run your side mount BCD, it could work. If you have an H-style harness, then having your lights strapped in this manner is great. It works well. But if you have a kind of more traditional style side mount harness, when the lights come down into your armpits, the tanks do tend to get in the way and kind of push into the lights. They can be a little bit uncomfortable. So I wouldn't recommend carrying your lights that way. Although with these new lights that I got from Dive Express, they're extremely tiny. They're bright, they last long enough. They're good enough for me for a backup light for the dives that I'm doing. I carry 2 of these at all times. Even if I'm not doing a dive where I need lights, I like to have these on my BCD because you never know when you're gonna need them. It's good as a signaling device as well. You don't wanna be stuck out in the middle of the ocean at night and not have a way to signal. I've been there, you don't wanna be there. Number 2, if you're a dive master or an instructor, specifically with an agency that shall remain nameless, then you know that when you're teaching, you have to carry a snorkel, depending on the class. Well, I personally don't really like snorkels. So what I do when I need to carry a snorkel, when I have to have one on my person, is I stow it. I used to use a collapsible snorkel, but I lost it, and they're kind of expensive. But one trick that I found is just on the back of your back plate right here, you can just zip tie down your snorkel, right? And that way, if you need it, it's just zip tied down. I can pull it out. I can get it without taking it off. I never even notice it. I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just always on my gear. So if one day I show up to work and I have to teach a class, I don't have to start looking for my snorkel. And if I'm out in the middle of the ocean and it's choppy and I'm waiting to get picked up by the boat and things are out of gas or whatever, I've got this right here. I know it's there and I can use it. That being said, it typically stays right there. All right, number 3. All right, this one pertains mostly to back plate and wing, maybe side mount BCDs, and you could probably rig it up on certain recreational BCDs. I know on the Scuba Pro Hydros Pro, I've done this for a customer before, so it's not too bad. You can take a bit of bungee and loop it through the bottom of the holes in your back plate, and then wrap it around your SMB, or in this case, a lift bag. This one hasn't moved in years. I'm gonna take it out for this video to show you. The only reason I take it out is if I want to check it and make sure that everything's okay, or if I need to use it, which since this one's a backup, I don't need to use it very much. And it's a lift bag. Typically when I'm lifting something and I really need to lift it, I'm using a much more heavy duty lift bag, but this works very well in a pinch. And it stores neatly away and stays out of your way. This one I keep on my rebreather in case I need extra buoyancy or to lift something or something like that. So it's there, it's nice, it's easy. All right, number 4. If you're the type of person that likes to keep your gear really clean, or if you're like me and you regularly put a hurting on your gear, then you're gonna wanna be cleaning out the inside of your BCD. Now there's a few ways to do this. You can very easily just grab your inflator, depress the deflate button, and hold a water hose up to the opening and fill your BCD up that way. It does take a little while, but it works. Another great way to clean the inside of your BCD is to just unscrew the inflator from the BCD. And that way you can shove a water hose in there. You can get some cleaner in there, although I would stay with some pretty mild stuff, maybe like dish soap or something like that. Get the thing cleaned out, throw this back on, make sure you don't lose the gasket, and make sure that the inside of the inflator is indexed properly on the BCD so that it goes on smoothly. And of course, if you're not sure about this, probably best left to the professionals. All right, number 5. It's a good idea to carry a cutting device with you when you're on a dive, whether it be a knife or a line cutter or something like that. Typically for me, it's line cutters. I feel like I'm less likely to stab myself with them, so I'm more likely to take them out to clear up some fishing line or something like that. But where do you keep it? If you're on side mount, then you're gonna have a hard time finding real estate on your waist to store your knife. So what I do is I take my line cutter and I store it up here on my shoulder. So it's right here whenever I need it, and it slides out. Now this little Kydex sheath I got from Scuba Divers, and it is great for storing this stuff. But I don't think that they're making them anymore, but you could very easily make one of these yourself. Easy Cut also has a sheath that just fits over your webbing like this and makes things really easy. The only thing is it's Velcro, and I have seen them wear out over time. So you might want to add something to it to make sure that it stays on there, whether that be, I've seen people use duct tape, just a piece of duct tape to keep it on there, or just wrap a rubber band around it to make sure it doesn't go. Heck, that'd be another great use for one of the Ranger bands or Snoopy loops. It'd be a good use for that. All right, guys, if you made it this far, then I gotta throw you a bonus. I see people struggling with their bolt snaps and double enders all the time. They have to reach over here and they have to grab the D-ring and hold it taut so that they can come over and they can clip it on, and they're looking for it and they can't find it. But there's a better way. You don't need to grab onto it. What you need to do is you need to take your double ender or your bolt snap and you need to grab it like a spoon with your thumb on the gate so that you can open it. And then what you want to do is you want to come over here and you can kind of feel your strap, and then come up and find the D-ring with your knuckle, and then hold the gate open, and whenever your knuckle finds the D-ring, you just slide up. And every time, like clockwork. Every time. All right, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. If you like this and you'd like to see more videos like this, then please consider hitting the subscribe button. Leave me a comment, let me know what kind of BCD hacks you use, or if there are any other videos that you'd like to see me make. Give me some ideas. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the water.